The Chiefs were not supposed to be here. People forget, but 2022 was supposed to be a bridge year to bigger and better things. A retooling year to fuel the future of the Mahomes era. And of course, the Chiefs once again find themselves in the Super Bowl. As a Pats fan, I can relate. That's just what happens when you have the best coach quarterback combo by far in the league. That sort of stuff just tends to happen. This offseason, the entire AFC went all in, except for the Chiefs. It was supposed to be the Bills' year, especially after paying all that money for Von Miller. It could have been the Bengals' bounce-back year after rebuilding their entire offensive line. Maybe Miami's year? The Broncos believed it was their year after trading for Russell Wilson. And then there was the rise of the Raiders, trading for Davante Adams and signing Chandler Jones. And don't forget, the Chargers were supposed to bolt up with Khalil Mack and JC Jackson. Nope. It's Kansas City. It was always Kansas City. And unlike those teams, the Chiefs chose to fall into the shadows, into the background, and retool. And that process all begins with big coach Red, Andy Reid. Andy Reid recognized that the NFL had caught up to the Chiefs. The NFL understood how to beat, how to defeat that version of the Chiefs. With Mahomes, with Tyreek Hill, with Travis Kelce. The bombs away approach, the explosive attack. Teams have focused on beating that version of the Chiefs. And Andy saw the writing on the wall, so he decided to evolve. What the Chiefs did is embraced their flaws and attack them, beginning with their star quarterback Patrick Mahomes. In 2020 and 2021, one of the common approaches to stopping and defeating the Chiefs was to lay back, play zone coverage, play too deep, and allow Patrick Mahomes to make the mistake. That version of Mahomes had an issue with just simply taking the profit, reading defenses, getting rid of the football, and making the patient but correct decision. The MVP that we see right now in 2022 is a much different player, a smarter player, a more patient player. He's a more consistent player. Not just a playmaker, but a quarterback. And the catalyst to transforming Patrick Mahomes, the Tyreek Hill trade. It reminds me a lot of what Bill Belichick did in 2005, trading Tom Brady's favorite target at the time, Deion Branch. Moving off of Branch to allow Tom Brady to evolve, taking the safety blanket and the go-to guy away from his quarterback to force him to evolve. The old Mahomes, or the young Mahomes, always wanted the big play. He always was looking for the explosive play, the coolest way to score a touchdown. This Mahomes doesn't care. It doesn't matter how he gets it done. He just wants to get it done. Now Mahomes is attacking more matchups. He's attacking the defense the way the play is designed. He's not always relying on Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce to simply win their matchup and to deliver them the football out of structure. Mahomes is now seeing the entire field, being patient, understanding the full football game. He's not pressured to get any individual the football. As good as Tyreek Hill was and is, trading him was necessary for the evolution of Patrick Mahomes. The numbers themselves speak to the shift in offensive philosophy. Mahomes isn't attacking vertically as much as he used to. The explosives are down a little bit. as you would expect they would be without the fastest player in the NFL. But what you do see is a Mahomes that is getting rid of the ball quicker. A Mahomes that is getting the ball out of his hands and allowing the short passing game to go to work. And what you have to understand is this was an offensive philosophy change from Andy Reid. And this philosophy change came from their offseason approach. The Chiefs had a clear plan of attack through free agency in combination with the draft, and they made it happen. Offensively, they attacked free agency, and they knew that Andy Reid could make these pieces work. They addressed the defense through the draft, counting on Spagnuolo to be able to develop these younger players. The Chiefs were smart. They didn't decide to go out into free agency and try to replace Tyreek Hill with any singular player. No, they never even tried. Instead, they focused on beefing up the depth chart of the wide receiver position, building the depth of the wide receiver position, rebuilding their room with different styles of players. In other words, replacing Tyreek Hill with quantity over quality. And they did this by exhausting every avenue possible. Juju and MVS via free agency, Kadarius Toney through a trade, Sky Moore out of the draft. Looking back to the 2021 offseason, Veach, Reid, and the Chiefs did something extremely similar with the offensive line. They traded for Orlando Brown. They signed Joe Thuney, and they drafted Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey. They exhausted every option. This offseason, the Chiefs decided to get more explosive at the running back position. They may have thought that Ronald Jones would be the guy to take them over the top, but they also decided to just simply add the most explosive, freakiest running back from the draft, Isaiah Pacheco. And that's important because this was not a high draft pick that they spent on a running back. They grabbed Isaiah Pacheco way deep in the 7th round. And just like every other draft pick this year, it seemingly worked out. But it wasn't only on offense where the Chiefs decided to evolve. They also chose to aggressively rebuild, retool, and revamp this defense. And it all began just like the offense with moving on from a foundational playmaker. The Chiefs decided to let the Honey Badger, their leader, walk in favor of a younger safety named Justin Reid. And this is exactly what the best franchises in sports do. This is what the Patriots did for years. They have the foresight to make these moves. They make the move that is not popular at the moment, but it always seemingly proves to be the right one. They make the tough decisions. They recognize where they need to move on, where they need to get better before others do, even if it comes with a negative response. And I must admit that the Chiefs probably would not be getting praise if they didn't absolutely nail this year's draft class, because they put a lot of pressure on this draft class to come in and to perform. You look at this draft class and what they were able to achieve from a defensive standpoint. Again, this was the plan. Offensively, we have Mahomes, we have Kelsey. Our offensive line is good. We need receivers in free agency. Receivers. Through the draft, we're going to rebuild and retool our defense. And that's exactly what they did. George Karlaftis and McDuffie in the first round. Cook in the second round. All three players start. Leo Chanel, who I believe will be good in the future, is a backup, but a nice prospect. And Watson is also a starter at cornerback late in the draft, another find in the 7th round. This draft gave this organization, this defense, a great foundation moving forward. A bunch of talented young players on rookie contracts. And now you have an opportunity to build for the next 2 to 3 years a elite defense around the best quarterback in the game. And when you think about it and compare last year's defense to this year's defense, there's no question that they upgraded across the board defensively, especially in terms of athleticism and speed. And along with that, Spagnuolo also discovered that he had to adjust. And he did. He dialed it back in terms of the aggressiveness, in terms of the blitzing. And he played a little bit more coverage this year, a little bit more too high. And he found the right mixture for this young group. The Chiefs find themselves back in the Super Bowl thanks to the recognition of their front office, their willingness to move on and move forward, their ability to adapt and evolve. That is how you achieve sustained success. As long as they have Mahomes, the Chiefs' floor will be high, but their ceiling will be determined by how they self-scout, by how they evolve. And that will determine their long-term success. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to Gronk spike the like button and subscribe for more NFL content just like this. It's Mitch. Peace.